Stefon Diggs or Cooper Kupp, which one would you pick if the Texans could only have one of them? Let's break it down, powered by my friends at BetUS. And BetUS wants to remind you, code YouTube150 for a 150% bonus up to $2,000 on your first deposit. You know they have everything that you might want from a Super Bowl wagering perspective, from the position of the MVP to specials on who's going to win the MVP to a national anthem props to just your typical sides and totals. YouTube 150 is the code when you get signed up over at BetUS. Now, Diggs or Cooper Kupp? It is not an easy question to answer because, of course, both are still really solid players, but each come with their own set of challenges if the Texans were to invest in them to be the veteran wide receiver. Look, the Texans need wide receivers. Only Nico Collins is a proven commodity in the wide receiver room, and you can't just have a bunch of young guys behind Nico Collins. As much as I'd love to have a bunch of wide receivers from this upcoming draft, one might be a wise investment, but you have to be able to rely on those players for a good portion of the season. So inevitably, there's going to be some veterans in the mix. Why not Cooper Kupp, who is available for trade? Why not Stefon Diggs, who's set to be a free agent? Let's take a look at both of these players and take a little look at the seasons they had. What's their upcoming commitment in 2025? Kupp, of course, played most of the season, had a couple of injury-plagued games, 67 catches, 710 yards, and 6 touchdowns for the Rams wide receiver, while Stefon Diggs, he played a few less games, obviously had the season-ending knee injury, 47 catches, 496 yards, and 4 touchdowns for Stefon Diggs. So the money is a big factor for both of these guys. And as you see, that's their projected money in 2025 with an asterisk behind it. Diggs' asterisk is because that's a projection from Spot Rack. That's just a guess about what Stefon Diggs may command in 2025. Cooper Kupp's is an asterisk because he doesn't have to play for that amount. Cooper Kupp's current contract actually lends itself to Kupp getting less money in 2025 and beyond when they adjust the contract, when either the Rams trade him or when the team that trades for him, in this case the Texans, trade for him. And then you adjust that contract down and you lower the cap commitment there in 2025. So just on the surface, when you look at this, you look at the 2024 production, you look at the 2025 money, it's a little bit of a push between these two. Like Cooper Kupp, still productive, plays inside, and can still get open. The separation isn't quite there as much as it used to be, but still a useful player who has injury concerns. Stefon Diggs was good for the Texans in 2024 until the knee injury. How's he going to bounce back from the knee injury? That's certainly a big question, and he costs a little bit less. And, of course, he doesn't have a draft pick associated with him. So, Cooper Kupp or Stefon Diggs, which one are you picking? So, with Cooper Kupp, it's a little bit more complicated. You've got to trade for Cooper Kupp, which Keenan Allen, who had a better season the year before he got traded, went for a 4th-round pick. And Stefon Diggs, who had a better season the year before he got traded, went for a future 2nd-round pick, which kind of has the same value as a 3rd-round pick. So Kupp, coming off the season that he had, probably not costing a huge amount from a trade perspective. Now, obviously, if LA has to handle the contract adjustment conversation, maybe that value goes up, but you're really kind of thinking about the Texans' 4th-round pick. It's a late 4th-round pick. Keenan Allen went for a high 4th-round pick. So the adjustment for the lack of production, but still the possibility that in his early 30s, Kupp is a productive player. Maybe it's a late 4th-round pick for Cooper Kupp, and then you got to do some contract adjusting. You got to convert some other contracts, make it work, and spending on Kupp could prevent you from doing some other things across the roster. For instance, backup cornerback, backup safety, backup running back, backup offensive lineman. Like, an investment in Kupp probably lowers the level of backup player you're getting at some of these other spots. But again, you need a wide receiver, and you probably need at least 1 or 2 veteran wide receivers in the wide receiver room. So that's the scenario with Kupp. Obviously, a big advantage that he has is new offensive coordinator, Nick Caley, will know exactly what Cooper Kupp has left in the tank. There should be some familiarity with what Nick Caley is going to ultimately end up running from an offensive perspective. So that's a benefit to having Cooper Kupp. He's got a little leg up on getting things going with a brand new offense. Now, flipping it over to Stefon Diggs, all he costs is money. It's just money to get Stefon Diggs back. And again, an estimated $13.5 million. Diggs made over $22 million last year. Remember, he got traded to the Texans. There was the adjustment in the contract to turn it into a one-year deal, and now he's set to be a free agent. I can't imagine he ever thought he'd be dealing with a serious knee injury as he heads to free agency. So that might limit his market, and that also might limit his usefulness to the Texans. Because again, I mentioned there's a brand new offense coming in. Now, if this was still Bobby Slowick or a promotion of Gerard Johnson, offensive coordinator, and a lot of it was staying the same, Diggs would have a leg up on Cooper Kupp. Diggs would know a lot of what they're doing, and maybe it wouldn't be as important for him to be at OTAs, mandatory minicamp, and be useful throughout the course of training camp. But coming back from that knee injury with questions about when Stefon Diggs would be able to go and installing a brand new offense, that is a negative over on the side of Stefon Diggs. So it is tough to envision that he would be ready for everything in the offseason, and you might need the new faces in the wide receiver room to be ready for everything in the offseason. Ultimately, both these guys are early 30 wide receivers. It's typical that these guys are not incredible producers at this age. I think just 15 wide receivers in the past 10 seasons have gone over 1,000 yards when they're 31 years old or older. And it's usually legendary guys like Larry Fitzgerald. Neither of these guys are Devontae Adams. He's done it a couple of times. Keenan Allen did it when he was 31. So it's not out of the question that productivity is still there for both of these guys. But let's go with the final verdict here from me, and then I want to hear from you in the comment section. I know it costs a draft pick, but I'm leaning towards Cooper Kupp for a variety of reasons. One, I think he's just used to playing in the slot, and the Texans, it's harder to find a super productive slot guy that you can trust right away than find outside guys. Two, he's going to know some of the elements of the offense. Three, he's going to be available in the offseason program, though he has concerns about how much money he's going to make and his availability throughout the course of the 2025 season. I lean a little bit more towards Cooper Kupp just because I don't know when Stefon Diggs is going to be ready, and I don't know how he's going to bounce back from his first serious career knee injury. You never know how a guy is going to return from the first knee injury. It might be nothing because it's just the first one, or it might be something that really affects the way the player plays. I lean Kupp. Which way do you lean? Let me know in the comment section down below. On your way down there, throw me a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and don't forget to visit my friends at BetUS with that code YouTube150. It's YouTube150 to get a 150% bonus up to $2,000 on your first deposit. The big game this weekend, lots of different props, sides, totals for you. Don't miss out on that. Use the code YouTube150. Appreciate you watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I can't wait until we talk Texans again soon.